Hello everybody, Sam's Trains here and welcome back to the railway once again, and welcome to the 6th and final of my running days that I've been doing recently. I've been doing them every Sunday for 6 weeks and this is the last, and as you can see by the title probably, I've saved the BR day until last, and it is quite a big one being the final one. I've actually got 10 trains being pulled today once again by 11 locos, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun. It'll be quite a long one again, so just bear with me on that. We've got loads of freight today, more than normal, as you can probably see just here, but there is quite a bit of passenger stuff as well. So there should be something for everybody really. But I will just point out, lots of the locos I'm running today might not necessarily have been born British Railways locos, but they're certainly all going to be in BR liveries or with BR crests on them and whatnot. But having said that, I'm going to start with 2 BR locos, born and bred. Of course, I'm talking about the 8F as one of them. As you can see there, she's looking absolutely lovely. Pulling quite a big rake of tankers, as well as a brake on the back there. There's quite a few of those, and they're not too heavy. She's quite a powerful loco. And I've decided that just for the sake of making it easier, I've also got Tornado on the same line, all the way over there. We'll come to her later, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it so that she also moves forward when we bring the 8F out. And then after the 8F's finished, I'll take her off. But it just means that then we can isolate the Tornado from that point onwards, and she's not going to start moving when the other trains start coming out of their sidings. So that's what I'm going to do. But for now, I'll stick the camera somewhere and we'll get the 8F from her siding. Okay, let's hope nothing goes wrong then. Let's get the points first. And I'll give her a little bit of juice and get her going. Obviously she's a DCC loco that I'm going to be running on DC, but either way, hopefully this will work properly. So here we go, a little power. Yeah, I'm not going to crawl too much just in case she dies on the points. But no, she's done it. And she's going to be replaced immediately by Tornado, who's coming around there. I know I wouldn't normally expose the future locos until later in the video, but there's a little glance of Tornado. I'm going to now reverse the 8F back into view. Just there. And we'll take the camera down there and let you have a good look. So there she is, the beautiful 8F, 280 obviously, number 48154. Gorgeous loco. She does run very, very well. Although she doesn't run very well if she's not been run for a while. She does stall every couple of seconds. But you give her a chance, get her to warm up a little bit, and she runs absolutely sweet as a nut. And obviously there with those 8 driving wheels, she's going to have quite a bit of pulling power as she does. Obviously the tankers that she's pulling today aren't really a test for what she can pull, but she certainly does pull them without any trouble whatsoever. So I'm going to leave her where she is, just there, and obviously the tender's beautiful as well, as you can see there, while we go and get the next loco, one that I am very fond of, so let's do that. And this girl is obviously what I was referring to when I said born and bred BR. Of course it's the beautiful 210 9F, and I believe it was one of the very last locomotives to be developed in the great age of steam, if not the last. I'm not too sure about that, but it was certainly very late on. It's a gorgeous loco, very similar to the 8F, which is why I'm running her at the same time, but a 210 of course rather than 280. I will give you a better look at her obviously, but first let's get the points and get her out, and we'll bring her around to the front where you can see her better. Right, let's give it a try. And I also forgot to mention that this big loco is pulling quite a big train as well. It's all mixed freight, as you can see there, and it goes right the way around the room, quite a big old set. Again, it's not really a test of what she can do, because she is extremely powerful, but it is quite a big train, so it should be quite interesting. But let's get the points for now. She doesn't run too well on DC, so I'm actually going to be using the selects just for this little section, and it's perfect for the 8F as well. So I'm just going to pull her out of there now, hopefully nice and smoothly. These do have a little problem because of the size of the wheel set. They do have a little problem on certain second radius and certainly on some points in terms of shorting out. Hopefully it won't be too much of a problem, but if it is, it's just going to be a little stall. So anyway, enough of that, let's get her going. Nice and smoothly does it. And there's all that beautiful freight gliding out of there. Well, perhaps gliding isn't the right word, but nothing's derailed, so that's not too bad. Right, stop there. Let's get the point for a second time. There we go. And let's bring all that lot round to the front. Again, it's really a very smooth loco. It works really very well. Right, round we go. Now let's get her slowing down. Hopefully she'll stop just nicely in front of the camera. Or maybe not. Forwards slightly. Let's just adjust. Give that up as a bad job. But yeah, it's a great loco. It really is a great one. This is the Hornby Railroad version, as you probably know. Number 9221, 9F. I've done a review of her before. Let me just focus the camera. And yeah, fantastic engine. Very powerful. Not as powerful as you'd expect her to be, perhaps, for 10 wheels. But certainly not bad at all. And certainly this little... well, I'll say little, this quite big rake of wagons is certainly no match for her. So let's get this big pair of freighters off then, starting with the beautiful 9F of course. Let's give her a little crawl to start with, just to prove that she'll do it. A little power. There we go, and she'll just leave the shot. Oh, she can't do it. She's skidding. Right, in that case then, we need a little more power. There we go. That was a Flying Scotsman style start, I think, but that seems to me like quite a good freight speed. And the same with the 8F then. Let's get her going. But forwards, of course. Oh, I don't know, these DCC controllers. I'm just as bad with DC. But anyway, yeah, there's a little crawl for you, and she's just leaving focus now, so I won't crawl for too long. Right, let's get her up to speed. Not too slow, mind. There's the wagons, or the tanks I should say. Right, a bit faster then, please. Okay, well, let's watch them both go. Yes, it's fantastic, the 9F is. I don't know if it's my favourite because it is a bit scary, let's say, but it's certainly a cracking loco. And the 8F just behind, looking lovely. I think I might even like the 8F more. Goodness knows. It's very hard to express. But yep, all the tankers doing well there. Nothing's derailing, touch wood. And they do look pretty cool, don't they, when they're going nice and slow like this. It's not quite a crawl, but it's sort of a realistic freight speed, I suppose. Which of course is always a little bit slower than express passenger stuff. Let's get some of the 8F as well. Lovely smooth engine there. Ran her quite a lot the other day, of course. She was seen in the train ride video, which was quite fun to make as well, obviously. There's something quite nice about a really long, really slow freight train, isn't there? It's just got character to it somehow. Yeah, great fun. I love running freight trains. The bigger the better. Of course, if they're too big, they're going to start causing you problems, but I think I've got the balance just about right with these two. Hopefully. Once again, touch wood. Some interesting freight as well that I don't run too often. Oh, she's a bit slippery just here. It is very slightly uphill, this one, so maybe the gradient's killing her a little bit. But she seems to have recovered. not too bad. So there you have it. What are probably two of Britain's beefiest steamers. We've got some more beefy ones coming up today, as you can see on the right. But yeah, let's put these two to bed then. We'll put the 9F away first. Then, as I mentioned earlier, I'm just going to take the 8F off manually, which I don't like doing, but it's just going to make life a lot easier later on. Right, so it's very much the same as when she went in. We're just going to pull her past the siding, of course, where I'll give her a good smooth stop, as we can with this DCC stuff. And then back her back in as usual. Right, we're about there. Yeah. I've taken the brake van off. The beady-eyed of you will have noticed. She was just messing me about a bit. This is the second take. First time when I put her in there this morning, the brake van derailed, and she's just done it again now. Yeah, no brakes, I'm afraid. And that's about it. So just wait till she goes behind that crossing. There. Just because we're going to use that later. Alright, that's her to bed then. I'm just going to take the 8F off. I'll do that off camera because it's not particularly interesting. And then we'll get on with the next couple of locos. Okay, be right back. Okay, so the next loco then is the beautiful Pacific Tornado. This was her earlier, while she was further back in the siding. Obviously now she's taken the place of the 8F, which has now gone off the tracks. But yeah, the Tornado's lovely. In real life, obviously, she's been in quite a few different liveries, but this one is gorgeous. I believe in real life she's in LNER green at the moment, but I do love this BR blue. And yeah, she's a really great loco. She really is. She's pulling a rake of 4 Pullman coaches there at the moment, which should be interesting. Hopefully they'll be alright on the points. They were last time, so touch wood. Again, we're doing a lot of touching wood today. It's making me feel a bit nervous actually, but yeah, hopefully she'll be just fine. So let's get her out right now then. Right, let's get the point and we'll see how we get on. Give her a little power then. She is absolutely one of my favourites. She was in my favourites video, I think, wasn't she? There we go, that's a good DC crawl, I must say. As I mentioned before though, she's got a flywheel in there. And she obviously doesn't like points either because she's stopped. Yep, there we go. Get all these coaches out. I do love these coaches. The livery's so nice too. Right, stop there. Get the points again and reverse her back a little way. There we go. All working perfectly. Right, well I can't resist giving you a quick close-up of her then, because she is absolutely gorgeous. Right, here we go. So yeah, she's an absolutely fantastic Pacific, isn't she? 60163 of course. I've reviewed her quite a while ago, yeah, very nice loco. I bought this one from Butterley actually, but last year of course. And yeah, really great loco. So yeah, hopefully you can see just how lovely she is. One of my absolute favourites, as I probably keep banging on about. And the next loco I'm going to run is also a Pacific. I thought that would work quite well. Quite an old one though, let's go and have a look at it. Alright, now I realise the lighting is a little bit poor around here. It's not great, but of course this is my recently restored Princess Elizabeth, which featured in my Princess Victoria unboxing video. This is an old Triang Hornby one, but it has got modern wheels, so we should be alright just on the points. There is a couple to get across here, but nothing too bad. And she's pulling 3 lovely blood and custard coaches there, which I suppose are as good as any for the Princess. And hopefully she'll look quite interesting but different alongside Tornado. So let's get the points now and I'll get her moving for you. Okay, well excuse my feet in the shot anyway, but that should leave us good to go. So providing I've left the controller in the right direction, we should be good to go straight away. Let's give it a try. Of course there was no time for crawling there, because I desperately didn't want it to stall on the points. But yeah, let's stop her nearby, give you a chance to see what she looks like up close, if you haven't already. But yeah, lovely Pacific, obviously quite a bit older than Tornado, but still just as interesting to me anyway. But yeah, lovely livery, BR green of course. A few of the decals and things are missing like that, but nothing too bad. Anyway, let's get these two going. We'll start with the Princess just because we're watching her. I'll start with a bit of a crawl this time because there's no points in the immediate vicinity. So hopefully we'll be fine there. So let's give her a little crawl then. Let's see how that works. Yep, pretty well as it happens. She's a good crawler. She may well have been alright on those points, but I just didn't risk it. Right, a little more speed then. There we go. And on to Tornado. Alright then, here she goes. And let's watch these two gorgeous locos go around the layout for a little while. Yes, look at that. This is what it's all about, with no mistake. But yes, one of the ideas for one of the running days I had was a Pacific day, and I'm a bit disappointed I didn't do that now, but like I say, if I do decide to do more of these videos one day, I think that's one we could definitely expect on the list, because I do love Pacifics. You'll be pleased to see my little water filler is standing. I made sure it was standing before the start of the video. Whether she will be at the end, I don't know. Okay, well that's it for the two Pacifics then. I'm going to drop those both back into their sidings. I think we'll do Tornado first. And there she is, coming to a bit of a slow down there. Looking absolutely great with those coaches. I think this might be the favourite of the day. I probably should have saved it till last. But I've still got a few other tasty bits coming up later, so the show isn't over yet by any means. Nice and steady for the coaches. There goes the Princess, still happily trundling round. All the coaches behave nicely, as they often do when you go nice and slow. And as she did on the way out, she's stalled, going back in. There we go. Of course, the Hornby Tornado does only have pickups on the Loco. The Tender does not have them, which is bizarre, but that's the case. Anyway, let's get the Princess back inside. Right, I'm going to grab these points, put her into there. Right, let's go and control her. There we are, that worked perfectly. Okay, brilliant. Now let's go and introduce the next two. Okay, so these two lovely locos are of course the M7, and they are tank engines, and I managed to avoid them being in a tank engine video. because firstly I wanted them to be in the BR video, because of course they are lovely BR locos, and also because I wanted them double heading whenever they did appear, and I had lots of double headers already in the tank engine video. So I thought it might be best to save them until now, which I have done. They're very good runners, a pair of them, and if you look carefully in their firebox, you can see the little bulbs in there which light up as they run, which is a nice feature. Of course, to put them to the test, I've got lots of stone wagons behind them, no brake van because I've used them all on the other various trains. But yeah, let's see if they can do it. I'll put the camera up high for you so you can see them go through the tunnel. But yeah, let's give this a shot. All right, let's start by grabbing the points. That one and that one. Let's give them a little juice. And I've already tested them, so I know they will pull it. But it's always quite interesting to see them pull quite heavy loads between them. Right, let's do it. There we go, and through the tunnel. And they're certainly a noisy pair. Oh, and she's stuck on the points. Come on, girl. Damn it. But they're a good performing pair, I was about to say, before the fiasco. Anyway, let's go down and look at them closely. So the girl at the front, number 30127, was the first one I got, and she used a repaint, presumably from green to black. Obviously Trying did make a green one, but for some reason the previous owner of this one decided to paint it black and add some various detailing to it. The one at the back is absolutely in its original condition, number 30027, which is fantastic. But having said that, they're both really good runners, so no problems at all there. So let's go and see what we're running next. Okay, so next up we have the third Pacific of the day. This one is of course Britannia, a lovely BR green version of course. This one's Owen Glendower. I do have the other one that's just Britannia, but I think this one's a little bit more fancy because of the livery. And today she's going to be pulling 3 Great Western coaches, which is not entirely suitable. I know, but it's you know, it's a load for her anyway. So yeah, I'm going to get the points and we'll get her out, and I'll bring her to the front and we'll talk about her a little bit more before we get them both running. Alright, so we want that point and that point, and now we should be good to go. Let's give it a try. Alright, I'll go off to the controls then and we'll give her a little juice. And I didn't say earlier, but she is actually a Trying model, which is why she came belting over the points like she did. She's also got the smoke generator in there, which I suppose takes a little more power than normal. But yeah, I'll flip the camera around the other side then and you can have a good close look. So there you go, beautiful 462, number 70010, class 7 if you can see that, just over the running number there. But yeah, beautiful Britannia loco. Of course, the fact that it's Trying doesn't bother me at all. She's a fantastically smooth runner. Sadly, I don't think we'll see any of the smoke today. She has to be running at silly speed before you'll see any, and sadly at top speed this loco is really, really fast. So much so that I think she will throw herself off, even on 3rd radius, which is saying something, but you know, I've recharged the magnet and given her a good service, and it just means that she runs really, really well. But anyway, enough gloating, let's get this one running. We'll start with a crawl then, just so that you can see what she's capable of, if she'll do it. Yeah, certainly not bad. Right, now before she leaves the shot, let's speed her up. Perfect. Now for the M7s, let's give them some power. Britannia's absolutely flying round. Probably slow her down a tad. There we go. I think that's a bit of a better speed anyway. Okay, I'm going to stop the M7s there then. I'm going to start them reversing to take them back where they came from. I'll start them at quite a gentle pace, like that. I'll go and get the points. There we go. Flick that. Sorry if I jumped a little bit there. And there the wagons go. Jumping over there a little bit. But no problem. There we go. Oh dear, she's cut out. There we are, little push. There we go, marvellous. Worked very well. Let's see if we can get them both over these points. Yeah, just about, okay. Let me just cut that off. Okay, so time to deal with Owen then. I'm going to bring her to a stop just as she clears these points. There, I think that should have cleared it. Yep, just about. And I'll change the point. And with a bit of luck, we'll reverse her all the way back in and nothing will come off the tracks. Alright, let's see what happens. Brilliant. Alright, that worked really well. Okay, let's introduce the next couple of locos then. Okay, so next up is the beautiful Triang 262 tank engine. Again, this is another one that didn't feature in the tank engine video, just so that she could appear in this video. As you can tell, she's going to be pulling from the front, which is something I like to do occasionally, because I hadn't done it for a long time on the channel, up until fairly recently. So it's something I quite like to do now. Again, she's pulling mixed freight, being a freight locomotive, I suppose. So you can see there what she's got. But for now, I'm going to flick the points and we'll try and bring her out. Round to the front, as always, and you can have a good close look at her there. Right, let's give it a try. Right, that's the points gotten then. And I'm just going to drag her straight out, basically, and straight round to the front. So let's give her a little power. Here she comes. She's covered by all the various rolling stock at the moment. But where I'll stop her, you should get a decent view. About there. Right, let's put the camera down then and I'll show you her in a bit more detail. So there she is, beautiful as she is, number 82004. Great loco. Obviously it's a Triang one and I've not shown her for quite some time on the channel, so it's nice to see her again. She's a very, very good puller actually, always has been. There's not an awful lot on her today actually, pulling wise, because obviously all the rolling stock's been distributed. But yeah, that should be cool. So we'll get her running in just a moment obviously, and before that I'll get the next loco introduced to you. And this is the final tank engine for today. As you can see, it is the 3F, known as the Ginty. Of course, it's missing the BR stickers on the side, but of course we know it to be a BR loco. Now, this was another generous gift from Chams123, John from Chams123, of course. So thank you once again very much for that, John. That's very kind of you, and it runs just great, as I'm sure you'd expect. This one's got a couple of intercity coaches on it, which is a bit strange, I know, but I think it looks quite nice myself. But yeah, I did have another 3F that I showed in the collection video, but as you saw it was quite poor. It didn't have the buffers and it was a bit messy, so this one's much better. So what I'll do is I'll get the points right here, that one, and I think we're set on the other side. There we go. So yep, I'll leave the camera here then and we'll give her a little spin. Oops, slight coach problem there, but I think we're alright. Well, my apologies for that anyway. That was a particularly bad start. It is a nasty siding, that one is though. It's particularly rough. I think I need to take it apart, to be honest, and give it a good clean, but that's for another day, I think. So there she is anyway, another tank engine, number 47606, beautiful 060. Looks quite good pulling the coaches, if you agree. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, let's get her running then without too much procrastination. I'm going to give her some juice and we'll see her get going. We'll start off with a bit of a crawl then, just to see if she'll do it. Of course she will. Very good. Alright, up to speed then. Little jutter on the points there. Onto the 262. And we'll give her a little bit of a crawl as well, now we're doing it. So, there we go. Not quite so slow, but certainly not bad. There we go. Now let's watch them go. Yeah, they're certainly quite the combination, these two, aren't they? Looking good though. That 3F is a great runner, isn't it? Look how smooth it is, and quiet too. Mixed traffic loco, of course, looking great. Great, these trying tankers, really good. Of course all the trying stuff was, but that especially is nice. Alright, time to put the 3F back to bed then. Perfect, and let's deal with the 3MT then. Right, I'll just grab those points. And let's hope she goes back in the way she came out. So keep your fingers crossed, everybody. Yeah, marvellous. A great loco and a really good performance from her too. It's like a concert, isn't it? Okay, well, we're here then. We're at the last two locos. I'm going to introduce them to you now. So hopefully I've saved the second best till last, if you thought Tornado was the best. So yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy this one. Let's give it a look. Okay, so the second to last loco today then is this beautiful 460 Royal Scot from Mainline Railways, this one is. But they do come in all different shapes and sizes, of course, from various different companies. Obviously 46100, and it's a 7p loco. And I've got it pulling a nice hefty rake of LNER teak coaches, which again aren't technically correct for her, but I think they do look pretty elegant with her. So I'm going to get the points straight away, and I will bring her out for you. And through the tunnel there, hopefully all the rolling stock will do it safely. And to be honest with you, when you get them right, these locos really are great. I'll give her a stop just up here, just so that you can get a good view of her once again. I really am very fond of this one, as you could probably tell. And they really are great for what they cost. You can get them now for less than £30 boxed, and this one's in mint condition. Now, they don't run particularly well if you don't give them, you know, the servicing that they need. With a little bit of TLC, they really can run well. And as you saw there, she pulls all those coaches without the slightest bit of trouble. Which is exactly what you want, of course. And I did review her not too long ago, so I won't bang on about her for very long. And with that, I'll go over to the final loco of the day, and we'll get her running too. Okay, so I realise you can't see her too well from where she is now, of course, behind Britannia there. But this is the Bachmann C-Class locomotive. It's an 060, which is a 3F actually, I think. And it's a really great loco, and if you remember the review that me and TARDIS Rescue did, it really is a gorgeous piece of kit, and BR2, so it had to run today. So without any more chatting about her, I'll get these points, we'll bring her around to the front, and I'll show you her again in all her glory. It's been a while since you've seen this one, not since the review, so I'm itching to get her running again. So I'll head off to the controls now and give her a little power, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Now she's got the milk wagons on the back of her, in case I didn't mention that. Oh yes, look at that. That's a good slow. That was a good slow speed over the point anyway, wasn't it? Here she comes, crawling towards us, and it's just such an elegant loco, this one. It is very simple, don't get me wrong. Not simple in terms of detail. If you remember the review, she really is. They've gone to town with her basically, with the detail. But as you can see there, she just really is a beauty. So this is 31579, and she is an absolute cracker. She runs perfectly, and she can pull absolutely loads. She's not pulling loads today, just the 4 milk wagons and the brake van, as you saw a second ago, but that really doesn't do her justice in all that she can pull. So yeah, she really is great. So anyway, I'll stop singing about her now, and we'll get them both running. So starting with the C-Class then, let's give her a little run. Alright, and the same for the Royal Scot then, which is an absolute beauty, this one. More of an express speed for her. Right, let's watch them run. And as you can see, this Royal Scot really is flying. And that's about just less than half speed. She really does go, and most of the mainliners don't. Alright then everybody, well that should about do it then for our BR day. 11 very interesting locomotives hopefully, and all working very well as well. So that's it, that's my running day series over and done with. But if you liked it, of course you can visit the Facebook page or the Twitter page at twitter.com/samstrains, or the same with Facebook. And I hope you all take care. I'll see you on Wednesday, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all very soon then, guys, and take care. Cheers everybody.